Okay, it's a new Vikings week. What are we at? Week 6. In Miami. It's a little warmer there in Miami, I'm guessing, than it is here. I'm expecting the same game. There's almost no point in doing these preview videos because I basically am at the point of saying the same thing every week. Now the big story heading into this one is Miami's quarterback situation. We didn't know. I think we kind of suspected a week ago what it was going to be when Teddy got knocked out and they went to the third stringer. But we have the news. It's definitely not going to be Tua. He's still out. Teddy is going to be the backup. He cleared the concussion protocol. It's the Dolphins. We'll see what that means. But he cleared the concussion protocol, but he's only going to be listed as the backup. So it's going to be the Skylar Thompson guy. Now, what this probably means is if he stinks early, like if he looks completely overmatched, hard to see any quarterback looking overmatched against our defense lately. But if that happens, they'll probably go to Teddy. But as of now, it's Skylar Thompson going up against us as we try to go to 5-1. But I don't care who the quarterback is. I've said this now on preview videos and recap videos. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is that we're facing. We're going to get kind of lit up. Maybe not lit up because like Justin Fields didn't light us up, but we are going to struggle on defense, on pass defense against whoever we play, because there seems to be no interest from Donatel to change anything about how the defense is run. So I expect a game very similar to what we've been seeing the last few weeks. I hope the offense is certainly, productive. I mean, for all of our struggles, periods where the offense kind of goes quiet in the middle of games, we're scoring like in the upper 20s every game. And obviously we've been getting it done in the fourth quarter, but and I would expect. This is a road game, but I would expect there's probably going to be a lot of Vikings fans down there. So maybe it'll almost be like a neutral thing, kind of like the London game was, which would help in any fourth quarter rallies. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if it's the fourth quarter tomorrow and we're trailing at some point, because this is just what this team is, what this defense is. On paper, yes, we should go blow them out. Go blow a team out that's that's throwing out a third string, barely drafted quarterback. But that's just not what we do, and I don't expect us to do that tomorrow. I think this is going to be, like a 27-24 type of game, and we're just going to have to grind it out again, and maybe have to make another fourth quarter rally. Maybe Kirk's going to have to do it for the fourth week in a row. I mean, Miami's still got some weapons. They've still got a couple dangerous receivers. They got an okay running game. They're gonna be able to put up points even with Thompson, because this is just how our defense is. We're just not a defense that is going to just shut anybody down. I don't know what happened week 1. Week 1 was just a fluke with this defense, an absolute fluke. And it's just not going to happen again. I'm still hoping that things click a little more, and we still have the personnel, I think, to make to have certainly a better defense than what we've seen so far. At least like a league average type of defense. But it hasn't happened yet. I mean, maybe after the bye, this is our last game before the bye. Maybe then something can get better. And that'll be a test too of this coaching staff, O'Connell, everybody, how they changed things over the bye week, because it was kind of, I think it was like half and half kind of with Zimmer. Like there were times we came out after a bye week and looked good, but there were times I think we came out, wasn't the Dallas game last year after the bye, and then we go out and play terribly. And I think, obviously the big one that we probably all remember is 2016, where we're 5-0 at the bye, and then come out of the bye and just absolutely implode. But that's the after the bye. The before the bye is another matter. Like, wasn't Dennis Green like? Dennis Green was like amazing, both going into and coming out of bye weeks, and a lot of that's just coincidental because it depends who you play. But you know, hopefully they're not looking ahead, being like, hey, let's just get through this week, and then we got the 2 weeks off. Well, you go into the bye week at 5-1, you're going to feel a whole lot better than 4-2. I mean, they're going to be in first place still, technically, no matter what happens, because of the division tiebreakers. You know, Green Bay's got the Jets at home. You think that's going to be an easy win for them, but they've had some issues, and the Jets have played a little better than really anyone expected. I mean, they blew out the Dolphins last week. We're not going to blow out the Dolphins because we can't blow out anybody. And you know, the other teams in the division are kind of in our rear view at the moment. The Bears lost again on Thursday Night Football. They only scored 7 points. That shows again how our defense just isn't good. Like, you know, and Washington has a better defense than we do, no question. But you know, they give up 7 points, and we gave up 22 and damn near lost. But and Detroit's, you know, doing their Detroit thing. I don't even know who they're playing. Or no, they're on the bye week, I think, this week. But they're review. Trust me, if we have to worry about Detroit in terms of standings at any point this year, things have gone very wrong and we're in trouble. But you know, this is a you know 3-4 weeks ago, this Miami game was looking like almost a sure loss. Like, after they come back, they get that big comeback to beat the Ravens, and then they beat Buffalo. Still the only team to beat Buffalo, even though that game had some fluky stuff in it. Like, they still held Buffalo down, scoring wise. You know, it's a legit win. Like, after that, it was like, oh god. You know, going to Miami, you know, at the start of the season looks like, we can probably go there and win. Then it turned into, well, almost a sure loss. And now, a lot of people have it chalked up as a sure win just because of their string quarterback. Do not get suckered in. And it has nothing to do with the Vikings playing backup quarterbacks and like there's some special curse. It's got nothing to do with that. It's just this defense is just not good. And you know, I don't care who the quarterback is. You know, they're going to give up a lot of pass plays. And Miami still has a couple of really dangerous receivers. Like, they're gonna do stuff to get guys open, and we're gonna do stuff to get guys open because we don't like to cover anybody, apparently, in this defense. So I expect, you know, until I see something different with this defense, I'm not going to expect it. I'm done expecting that. So this is going to be a 4-quarter game, maybe a deep into the 4th quarter game, and we might need another late rally from Kirk in the offense to get it done. Now, if we have one of these, if we finally have like the everything comes together game on offense where we are just dominant, if we have basically the first half of the Bear game last week for 4 quarters, yeah, maybe then we can win it comfortably. But you know, you shouldn't have to ask that of any offense to just touchdown every drive. You know, never do anything wrong, never have a turnover, never have a penalty. Like, that's too much to ask for anybody, just about anybody. Maybe like a Buffalo, Kansas City, and they're playing this week. Maybe those teams can just be counted on to just, hey, you're going to get a touchdown every time. But even they don't do it every time. So I'm expecting almost like a replay of the last 3 games. I think we're going to be, you know, it's going to be people, and I can't imagine at this point there are fans who are genuinely expecting us to just go into Miami and blow these guys out because they have a quarterback. It doesn't matter. We are not capable of doing this on defense. You know, maybe if we get a couple of big turnovers, but we haven't really gotten, you know, we got the game-ending one last week, obviously, but we have, like, in terms of, like, you know, get a pick 6, like, in the middle of a game to really swing momentum. We haven't had any of that stuff yet. You know, maybe if we can do that, maybe we can put a little distance, you know, steal a couple of their possessions away. But I haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen it yet, and you know, it's still a young season. It's still relatively early in the season. We're only, you know, after this, we're like a third of the way through the season. But we just haven't seen it yet. So I need visual proof that we can do this on defense. And hopefully the offense is very productive. There's been a lot made of Dalvin Cook going to play in Florida. Going to play in Miami for the first time. I know we haven't won in Miami in a long time because we only play there once every 8 years. I don't think we've won in Miami since, I didn't look it up, but it's been a long time. It might be like the 80s or something, or maybe even the 70s since we last won in Miami. It's been a very long time. Last time we played there would have been 2014. I think that was the game we had a punt block. That was the game where we we had a touchdown taken away by the refs on some stupid shit. That was probably one of Teddy's first starts. Hey, Teddy's still going, but I would almost rather play Teddy Bridgewater than that. At least you have a little more of a known commodity. Like, I have no idea this Thompson. His numbers were not terrible last week against the Jets. They got blown out, but he threw a pick. I don't think he threw a touchdown, but I mean his like completion numbers weren't terrible. But yeah, it's just going to be a grind game again. Sorry, people are going to be mad. Like, I know the same people who've been mad the last couple of weeks when it was like, oh my God, how are we struggling to put away this team. It's going to be the same thing this week. Expect it, and then you're not going to be mad. You can be kind of annoyed by it, but I think if you expect it, you're not going to be mad about it. But yeah, offense hopefully is big. Hopefully JJ has a big game. Hopefully Kirk has a clean game. We don't want any more of the interceptions. He really just had, people are really down on Kirk for the stats. It's funny how the stats matter now. Funny how it's flipped now that the stats aren't quite as good for Kirk. Those matter now instead of the win-loss record. Especially last year when the stats were really good, but the win-loss record wasn't there. Everyone says nobody, who cares about stats? All that matters is a win-loss, and now that's flipped for a lot of people. But hopefully a nice clean game from Kirk. Hopefully he doesn't have to do the fourth quarter comeback, because it's not going to work every single time. If he has to rally this team for any score in the fourth quarter every single week, eventually that's not going to work out, because you're going to have a guy drops a pass, or there's a penalty, or there's a missed field goal, or something's going to happen. That's gonna screw you. So you can't be in that spot every week. So hopefully we're not. Hopefully we just play a nice complete game, play pretty well on defense. Maybe we're not in a position where we have to make a strip of a receiver at the end, or hope for a missed field goal at the end, a double doink. But we're going in healthy. Booth, the big thing is Andrew Booth is going to finally play. He's off the injury report. We get to see our second round pick. I don't know what we can really expect from him as a rookie in his second game, and he was hurt a little bit in preseason too. So I don't know how much he'll be even on the field, but we're pretty healthy. I think Wanham was on the injury report still, and Madison, but neither of them were listed as out. So I think they're probably both going to play. So we're pretty healthy. I mean, knock on wood, knock on the wood here. But we haven't had that rash of injuries yet. We've had some guys banged up here and there, but nothing major yet. We're still on the right side of the health thing, which is huge. So you just gotta pile up these wins. Like, just all you need to worry about is getting the win. It doesn't matter what we do. We're still gonna be ranked behind the Packers and all the fucking power rankings. We're still gonna be ranked behind a whole bunch of other teams that we're better than record-wise and who haven't played well. Like, there's people still putting Tampa Bay in their top 5. Tampa Bay has not played well this year. Green Bay has not played well this year. Why are they still ranked so high? Get off of your fucking idolatry of Brady and Rodgers, for fuck's sake. But if we just keep winning, that's all that matters. Like, the division is ours to win. It already is. And, the schedule is favorable that we can keep this up. this week and then beyond. I mean, there's some tough games out of the bye. Like immediately out of the bye, we got the Cardinals. That's going to be tough. Obviously, we got the Bills in November. That's going to be tough. Dallas is going to be tough. New England, who knows? New England might be tough. If Belichick is doing his defensive wizardry thing again, that's going to be a tough game. So get these wins when you can get them by any means necessary, and that's all that matters. And I think we will win. I think it's going to be a grind. It'll piss everybody off who wants the style points. I don't care about style points that much. I just don't. I care about the wins. I care about the wins. Wins and losses is all that's going to make me happy. I don't care if we play a nice game against Miami but somehow lose. I'm not going to care. I don't know how we could possibly play a nice game against Miami and lose, but that's the NFL. So I will say 27-24 Vikings. Grind it out. Maybe it's just a tie game and we got to go drive for a field goal and get something, or maybe we have a lead and just have to hold them off. Whatever. It's going to be a 4-quarter game, probably deep into the 4th quarter game. But my advice is just expect this to happen and you won't be mad.